Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Let's Up Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Let's Up Stores on all our social media platforms. Let's Up, craft your own footprints.
Beautiful people, you're welcome to the Snap Talk with your girl Teddy Tenjo every Saturday right from 6 to 7.
Nakuzino twajirwa flat tami. Tukyayambala ko kugoyo obutukwata.
Wajana ku body shaming. Speak up. Gendo ba confronting obagambe ekyo kyemukola si kirungi.
Towerabira nti tuli wano ku the Alternative Digitalk mukwano gwange gwaliye topic kiri wandiyagadde twogereko. Is it about family?
Ngatize tata wange amanyira nkola n'obuvunanyizibwa nyina bungi era agezaako n'anyamba yambako yanda
Naye kumukubira kumubuuzaako. Noga mama we bali kunzaala.
Is it outside family? Is it society? Oh, could it be relationships?
Come and visit, call me. Simanyanga I miss you bichi. Especially in better y'obudde sinungi.
Naye n'omuntu akwagalira mu season yaba takwagala ze nkubuulira.
Just be commenting a topic yona gyandiyagadde twogereko tujjako tujogera kwano ku the Alternative Digitalk ku share enganzi the Snap Talk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Wasuzo tamunanga kedena for lunaku lwaleero lunaku lwakuna ennaku z'omwezi ziri 29 omwezi tuli mu gwa June omwaka 2023 mbabuzaako yonna gye musinzidde okubanga mutulaba abatulabira mu ggwanga Uganda n'ebitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo nze Omumbejja Luwedde Lilian era nga program gyogenda maaso n'okubanga olaba ye Mighty Drive akanyomero ke tulimo ke Mighty Global News Updates era nga ngenda kubanga nkuwa ebimu ku ebyo ate ebyakoze amawulire wano mu ggwanga Uganda n'ebitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo mbakulisaayo nnyo mu Yidi Adoha abagi-celebrate nze bannaye mwebale nnyo abagabye ennyama abasaze ebisolo ebyenjawulo kyali yennaku endala 2 ate munnange omukolo guno gukyagendera ddala mu maaso n'okubanga gukolebwa naye nga mbakulisaayo mwenna abaalidde abanywedde be baayise be bataayise abasobodde okufuna ate munnange ku nnyama nammwe ne musobola okubanga mweriira nammwe ate mbabuuzaako era nga munnange ngenda kubanga nkwitayitiramu ku ebyo ebimu byakoze amawulire wano mu Uganda n'ebitundu by'eggwanga eby'enjawulo naye nga bwe naaba mmaliriza nja kuba negattibwako munnange Rogers Tulyahabwe n'omukulu Norman Tumuhimbise ate tusobole okuba nga tugayagaya mu nsonga ez'enjawulo nga bwe zitambula ate wano mu ggwanga. Still nga bwe nkugambye nti olunaku olw'eggulo yabadde Idi Adduha era nga munnange yajaguziddwa mu bitundu by'eggwanga eby'enjawulo emizikiti egy'enjawulo baasadde basheik ate nabo ab'enjawulo babaddeko obubaka bwe bakoonyeeko era nga abasinga ku bo ensonga gye basinze okuba nga bakoonako nsonga ya byakwerinda era ne basaba gavumenti ate ebeeko kyekola munnange ku nsonga z'ebyokwerinda. Kakati ngenda kubanga ntandika n'obukulembeze obw'obusiraamu era nga buno bwenjogerako bwe Kampala mukadde bono munnange basanyukidde ate ennongoosereza ezayisibwa Parliament muteeka ate munnange liruŋŋamya bank ez'ebyobusuubuzi era munnange ne wassibwawo n'entereka y'ensimbi egoberera enkola ez'obuyisiraamu nonno yabadde still ayogera ku bank ey'obuyisiraamu era nga munnange Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubajje munnange yategeezezza nti era gavumenti yalisaanye okubanga ekola kyekimu ate ne ku nteekateeka eno eya parish development model munnange olwo nno ate abasiraamu basobole okubanga bafuna bulungi nnyo oluwenda olw'okwekuulako olunnabe lw'obwavu. Ndowooza katuwulire Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubajje ng'ayogera ku nsonga eyo ate nkwongereyo n'amawulire gaffe amalala.
N'enkola yaffe gye twateeseewo gye twagala tuule ne gavumenti tuteesaganye nga yo nnungiko wakiri babeere nga batukkiriza ffe bennyini tubeere nga tugitambuza wadde gavumenti nga supervising naye nga eri mu halal compliant. Mu mukka gwe gumu njagala kwebaza cabinet nti yayogedde ku ngeri ya halal banking oba sharia banking oba islamic banking okulabika nti etandika okusibwa mu nkola.
Naye mbasaba tetteeka erya banki erya islamic banking banka y'obusiraamu lyayise twaliisa dda president yalyogeddeko.
Twenyamira nnyo era tuvumirira ekikolwa eky'abantu abatabanguzi b'emirembe naddala ekyabaddeyo Kasese abaana abatalina musango lwe basaliddwa ng'embuzi naye nga basalibwa abantu mbo banoonya kufuga eggwanga oba banoonya buyinza oba banoonya kubeera nga balaga nti b'amaanyi nnyo. Tuvumirira nnyo ekitta abantu, tuvumirira nnyo ebijambiya
era tulwanyise obutujju, tulwanyise ebikolwa ebibi kubanga obusiraamu bubulira mu tukuba na mpisa.
Ate ye omukyala gw'olabyeko ye minisita wa Kampala Hajat Minsa Kabanda era ne still yayogedde ku nsonga y'emu eya banki y'obuyisiraamu oba Islamic banking era n'akona ne ku nsonga ate munnange ezikwatagana ku byokwerinda. So awo nawo ngenda kubanga nvaawo olwo nate nti nengende ekibuli munnange bo abakulembeze b'obusiraamu basabye gavumenti okubanga munnange yongera amaanyi mu bukuumi bw'ewabannansi wamu n'ebyabwe munnange nti okulagaya muno munnange kweyolekera ddala ate mu lwatu okusinziira ku bikolwa ebyekko ebikolebwa ku bantu nga munnange bwe biddamu. Jjajja w'obuyisiraamu njogera ku mulangira Kasimu Nakibinge era munnange yeebuuzizza lwaki gavumenti ekuuma ate abantu ab'olubatu munnange ng'ate abasinga obungi bo batirimbulwa. Mulangira Kasimu Nakibinge era still yawadde munnange bambega bamutambulirako amagezi nti obutamumalirako nnyo budde bungi nti kubanga byayogera mu lwatu era byayogera ne mu kyama ono nno era munnange yeebazizza omulimu ogukolebwa gwe bakola era n'abasaba amaanyi okuba nti munnange ge bateeka mu kumubega abagase ate ku bantu abatemula bannansi ne banyaga eggwanga. Bino nno yabyogedde still mu kusaala Idi Aduha era nga katuwulire ate obubaka bwe then ate tweyongereyo.
Naye obuzibu bwonna ate kujweteka ate nakulinda musiraamu ng'asaala ali ku sujudu noyagala awulire byaloopa ewa Mukama Katonda. Ibyo tebikwatako yahe muleke ayogere byonna oba oli awo yebaza na mirimu gye mukola naye bannaffe tubeebaza nnyo omulimu ogwe mukola senga mugwongera mukulaba ti ebyobukesi mu bantu abatemulwa ababbibwa abali mu ebyo nga mubakwata tebannaba kuba kukola ebyo ebivve. Siima omulimu ogukoleddwa okugezaako kuba ebiraka wano ne wali tusobole okuba nga tutambula nga tetulina nnyo buzibu mu nguudo zaffe ez'e Kampala. Ekyennyamiza nti kolansi ate bamukuba mu ttaka
ng'ate bakkiriza nti baagagabana nga n'obujulizi weebuli. Twalirabyeko nabo nga bagendako mu Kaguli ndabe namba 2 mu ggwanga, namba 3 mu ggwanga, Minister of Army nga bayimiriddeko mu Kaguli nabo basabeko ku bbeeru bamanye ekyo
Salonge lya Lukwago ndoza naye obubaka bwo buwulidde bulungi nnyo. Bano nno babadde mu kusaala okwabadde ku muzikiti ekibuli mu kukuza Idi Aduha. Nkyeyongerayo nno n'okukuza Idi Aduha. Supreme Mufti wa Uganda Sheikh Muhammad Galawuzi ono nno munnange ye yawanjagidde gavumenti okukola buli ekisoboka okubanga balinnya okulinnya enfeete ku ttemu erigenda mu maaso wano mu ggwanga kubanga munnange kino nno kyeyongedde okubanga kyewanisa abantu emitima era still ono naye yabyogedde mu kwetaba mu kusaala okwa Idi Aduha ku muzikiti ekibuli. So ebyo nno munnange bwe bito bwe byatambudde sayidi eyo naye nga nkyagenda mu maaso n'okubanga nkuwa tebimu ku ebyo ebyabadde mu kusaala okw'enjawulo. Kakati awo nno nawo nvuddewo ngenze ewa minisita avunaanyizibwa ku nsonga ez'omunda mu ggwanga Major General Kahinda Otafire. Munnange yavuddeyo n'avumirira abantu abavaayo ne bagamba nti munnange abasiraamu ate batujju era nga munnange yategeezezza nti kino si kituufu n'akamu. Munnange ono nno still naye yabadde mu kusaala Idi Aduha era nga yabadde ku Nakivubo kusaala kuno kwabadde ku Nakivubo Blue Primary School wano mu kibuga Kampala era munnange ono nno yageze maaso n'okuba nga ategeeza nti gavumenti terina kigendererwa kukwata basiraamu nga abantu bwe bagamba era munnange ng'agamba nti bo bakwata bamenyi b'amateeka. Ndoza naye katusooke tumufune ate ndyoke mbongereyo mu mawulire amalala.
Nze sikwata abasiraamu, sikwatangako musiraamu, nkwata abakola ebyambyone. Oyo akwata abasiraamu abatategeera omutwe gwe guli wansi ebigere bye birowooza. Omuntu osanga omuntu ng'atambuza omutwe n'alowoozesa ebigere, oyo akwata abasiraamu. Kwata abakola emisango, abazzi b'emisango. Tokwata abasiraamu, tokwata bakatuli, tokwata abakristaayo, tokwata abakyala, tokwata abasajja, kwata abantu abazza emisango. Mulekera okuzinga abantu bonna mu kiwempe ekimu kisi buli musiraamu mutujju. Nze ndi musiraamu ndi mutujju. Waliwo abasiraamu abatujju, waliwo abasiraamu ab'ensimbu, waliwo abasiraamu ababbi, waliwo abasiraamu abaki. Omusiraamu omubbi, omukatuliki omubbi, omukristaayo omubbi, owantwanga omubbi, owagundi mubbi, babbi. Omusiraamu omulungi, omukatuliki omulungi, omusiraamu ananka omukristaayo omulungi, balungi.
Ndowooza minisita avunaanyizibwa ku nsonga ez'omunda mu ggwanga naye omuwulidde bulungi nnyo obubaka bwe yawadde ate mu kusaala Idi Aduha. Ye minisita avunaanyizibwa ku by'entambula wano mu ggwanga njogera ku General Edward Katumba Wamala. Munnange ono nno still yasabye abasiraamu okuba obumu n'okukolera awamu ate okusobola okutwala obusiraamu mu maaso. Still ono naye yabadde ku kusaala Idi Aduha eyo mukono era nga obubaka buno munnanga ate yagenze maaso n'okubanga abuwa abayisiraamu. So awo nvuddewo ku dakiika 15 ezakayita ku ssaawa 2 ez'amakya g'olunaku olwaleero kwongerayoko ne updates ate endala. Munnange nga bwe nakutegeezeza wali mu ntandikwa nti okusaala Idi Aduha munnange kwabaddewo mu nsi yonna era nga mu bitundu by'eggwanga eby'enjawulo abayisiraamu baakedde mu bungi okubanga beeyiwa ku mizikiti egy'enjawulo okubanga basaala Idi Aduha era nga munnange obumu ku bubaka nga bwe nakutegeezezza abamashek bwe bawadde ate abayisiraamu bwabadde nnyo still kwekuuma ate n'okubanga baddiza abo abatalina n'okubanga munnanga ate basaba gavumenti okubaako kyekola ku nsonga ez'ettemu ezigenda maaso wano mu ggwanga nti bannayuganda munnanga emitima gibeewanise tegiri mu kifo kimu. Naye ate kati awo nawo nvuddewo ngenzewo omukulembeze w'eggwanga General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ono nno yakakasizza abannayuganda nti munnange entuuyo zaabwe ate munnange zijja kubanga zivaamu amagoba essaawa yonna era nga munnange ono nno yategeezezza nti ebyamaguzi ebiva wano e Uganda ate naddala ebyo ebyongeddwako omutindo kaakati nno munnange wetwogerera akatale gye kali e China era nga munnange bano nno basobolera ddala okubanga munnange baganyulwamu mu byamaguzi byabwe bino oba ate mu ebyo bye bagenda maaso n'okubanga bafulumya. So omukulembeze w'eggwanga naye bw'atyo bwe yayogedde naye nga nkyeyongerayo n'amawulire mangi nnyo. Waliwo omuvubuka ono nno ng'atemera mu gy'obukulu 18 mu zooni ya Mulimire Bukoto munnange njogera ku njegoyego z'ekibuga Kampala aliko abaana ba mulirwana 2 ate munnange be yatunuzza mu mboga za sitaani n'abakabasanya era nga ono nno ku baana be yakabasanyiza kwabaddeko ow'emyaka 2 ate ng'omulala wa myaka 6 gyokka. Naye nga yo poliisi yabakanye dda n'okubanga bakwata omusajja ono munnanga ate era nga omusajja ono yakwatiddwa dda era nga munnange kaakati atemeza mabega wa mitayimbwa. Bo abatuuze munnange mu kitundu ekyo bo bategeezezza nti ebikolwa eby'okukabasanya amabujje mu kitundu kyabwe munnange baafuuka baliwo anti munnange basedduvutto babikolera ddala naye nga ate basabye poliisi okubanga ate munnange ebaako kyekola ku nsonga zino ate ebikolwa nga bino bisobola okubanga birinnyibwa ku nfeete. Awo nno nawo nvuddewo omukulembeze w'eggwanga General Kaguta Museveni munnange still ngenda kubanga eggulire eryo ndikuwa mbujjuvu bwalyo naye kansooke nkuwe lino mumyuka asooka owa Katikkiro njogera ku Professor Dr. Twaha Kigongo Kawase ono nno mu lugendo lwe ekkano munnange yatuuse bulungi nnyo era ng'eno kino kiri mu ggwanga erya Nigeria. Ono nno yatumiddwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka wa Buganda ate munnange okubanga akiikirira obwakabaka mu bikujjuko ebya Kano Daba era nga munnange bino nno byakumala ennaku 4 era nga byatandise olunaku olw'eggulo. Ono nno teyagenze yekka wabula nga ate yawerekeddwako ow'ekitiibwa Mariam Nkalubo Mayanja era nga munnange n'abaweereza mu woofiisi ye abo nno nabo bagenze naye era nga ono yayaniriziddwa Omumbejja Emiko era nga ono yavunaanyizibwa ku by'obuwangwa ku lwa Emile ow'Ekano era nga munnange n'abakungu ba Emile abalala nabo babaddewo kubanga baaniriza abakulu bano ate mu lugendo lwe bagenzeeko. Naye gonno nago mawulire gavudde sayidi zeeyo ngenda kubanga ate nnyongera okubanga nkuyisizaamuko mu mawulire ate amalala naawe osobole okubanga omanya ebimu ku ebyo ebyabadde mu ggwanga Uganda konno kw'ossa n'ebitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo. Njagala mbeeko eggulire lyenkuwa munnange nga lino nno liviira ddala mu district ey'Ebukomansimbi. Munnange bakutte kansila Margaret Naluwoza okunno okugatta n'omwami we Ali Kaweesi. Kubigambibwa nti bano nno benyigira mu kutta former Mbale village chairman munnange ono nno Kibirango Sabiti munnange mu Kagologolo Town Council. Kigambibwa anti munnange bano nno balabika balina kye bamanyi oba ate benyigira mu kutta eyali chairman wa Mbale Town Council. Okusinziira ku police commander owa Bukomansimbi Romeo Onek yategeezezza nti okunoonyereza kukyagenda ddala mu maaso era nga munnange kansila Naluwoza ye muntu eyasembayo okubanga akubira chairman omugenzi kati Kibirango era mbono bwe yamukubira essimu kigambibwa nti yamusaba amusisinkane naye ate munnange awo nno we yakoma okubanga alabibwako era nti ate yasobola kubanga adda ewaka. So eryo neggulire nayo bwerito bwe liri ensonga z'okunoonyereza nazo zikyagendera ddala mu maaso. Endowooza updates zange ngenda kubanga nzikomya wano ate tuwummulemu katono nnyo negattibweko Rogers Tulyahabwe ate tusobole okubanga twongera okugayagaya mu nsonga nga bwe ziri n'omukulu Norman Tumuhimbise ate munnange bwe tunaawunzikira ku ssaawa 4 ojja kubanga bingi nnyo byogenze mu maaso n'okubanga otegeera. Tuwummulamu katono nnyo Mighty Drive ekyagenda mu maaso.
The alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704111720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings.
Go to the church,
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanye now, did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Less Up Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 080090. You can also check up at Less Up Stores on all our social media platforms. Less Up, craft your own footprints. Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain, or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Situdenzeka ndi n'omukulu Rogers Tulyahabwe okuno kugatta omugenyi waffe olunaku olwaleero omukulu Tumuhimbise nga bwe tugenda okuba nga tuyitaayita mu nsonga ate ez'enjawulo tulina budget priorities ebimu ku ebyo bigenda okusinga okutunuulirwa oba okuteekebwako essiramu mu mwaka gw'ebyensimbi guno gutandika awo mu maaso n'ebirala ate ebyenjawulo tugenda kuba nga tubyogerako olunaku olwaleero naye nga saagala ndwewo nnyo omukulu Rogers Tulyahabwe ate yanekaanekanye dda era nga mu ntebe mwali aggumidde naye kalamuse kuba tulaba ate tweyongereyo.
Good morning, Lilian.
Mukama yebale kusuusa. We were not together last week, so you were sick.
I was, but fine now. Thank you so much for your prayers and for anyone else who might have prayed. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rogers Tulyahabwe, and it's a great opportunity yet again to be here this morning to talk about a number of issues that are happening in and around our communities. As we live, we have told you time and again. Every single time we appear here, we tell you that what we are talking about are things that are happening in our societies. And for the most part, our community operates much better if they have the right information to work upon. So the reason why we come here every single day is to make sure that you have the information that you need to be able to make informed decisions. So this morning we're going to do just that. Of course, we're going to begin, I think, with the celebration of Eid. Some of us, our friends, their phones were off, but that's okay. A friend of mine was telling them that John the Baptist was born. So but thank you so much. I'm going to invite our guest for the day to say a lot of you, and then we'll get right into it.
Viewers, my presumption is that you are doing well. My name is Tumuhimbise, and I'm glad to be amidst you people. and of course we're coming from the Eid. Those of you that indeed were lucky to have some crystals of pilau, and of course those Muslim friends who hid from us. We shall also hide from
We are waiting for them.
Obusungu nga bungi piraawo yaleese
Abaganda bagamba atakulekera tomulekera ennyanja ekutoomera.
Jo twabadde n'Omumbejja Luwedde era yakoze the whole day.
Ate chief wamulabyeko.
Namusindikidde ka message bakuba kali piraawo yaleese obuzibu Roger teba.
Those phones were off. I don't understand. We are brothers. Yeah.
Brothers and sisters.
Yeah, but we wish them a good it apparently has more significance than rice for them.
No.
For us, it's about food.
I went somewhere and I saw some, I think some Muslims say that Eid goes for 3 days.
Yes,
even today and tomorrow. Apparently.
Today and tomorrow,
so,
yes.
Today they don't hide. Anyway,
bajja kubawa ku nnyama yasigaddewo yabadde ya yesterday nerero bagenda kusala.
The Easter thing, like they also compensate, they take the 3 days off or something, because there is a here bad or Good Friday, then
no, it's Good Friday.
Monday up to Monday.
Easter Sunday and Monday. Yes.
So this is more or less okay. That's what I wanted to find out from you guys. Okay.
The South Sudan government issued a directive that those 3 days are not working days, so they stopped working on Wednesday,
Tuesday.
Right? Tuesday.
Yes.
The next time to work is Monday next week.
Yeah.
So, but our government
unlike in
cannot learn from those things.
No. It's not that they can't learn from those things. The way South Sudan, the way those guys do their things is different from the way Ugandans do their things. So, tetusobola kubanga tufaanagana.
We need them. We need to run things. But anyways, to move away from that, I think there were highlighted messages across most of the Islamic, like mosques and most of those people, notable leaders in the Islamic faith in Uganda. I think the most dominant message that was across was that there should be peace. Of course, they were condemning the massacres in Kasese, saying that Israel don't want to take over a state and you can't take over this. So I think the biggest part of what dominated the discussions yesterday and those were about security, about peace, people keeping peace, and the fact that most people think that most of the Muslims, if not all, are terrorists. And I think even Kahindo Tafile talks about it, saying that himself is a Muslim, and he's not a terrorist. He said he's a Muslim.
I think for me, those of us who have been following the global politics, that silly trend began in 2001, the September 11th. And that's why the global security measures right away from the airports and the rest changed because of the attacks of that September 11th. Of course, with due respect, you were too young then. But then those of us who are slightly older were watching the sequence of events. And that then, back then, when you were going through an airport, you couldn't get off your shoes and belts. After the September 11th attack on the Twin Tower, that's when those things began. Get off your belts, get off your shoes, go through an airport checkpoint. So things changed then. The money and money laundering, all of those laws, they started after September 11th attacks. And that's why the Bush family and, of course, Tony Blair then and their allies, I think with Jacques Chirac or something, who was the president of France, those years, they are the ones who literally changed the world and made it look like the Islam faith is for terrorists. And that is how the entire world was compromised to begin believing that that such people, rather that their religion of Islam is too much connected to terrorism. However, the very in my view, the very unfair global leaders at the time they will never talk about the terrorism against the Palestinians by the Jews, by the Israelists. They never mentioned that. So that's how things began. But also, I think it has also not been as fair in regards to the Muslims to, I think most of them, to denounce, because even when they get, these guys, they simply, even when you get Peter, he will call himself for Isima. Even when he's not, even when he's not a Muslim, but rather to tarnish the name. So that was an American style of course, of blackmailing the Muslim faith, and we are glad nti n'abasiraamu bavuddemu abamu oba abasinga bavudde ne bagamba no, it is one thing to be an extremist and another thing to be a Muslim. So ne mu bakatuliki mulimu ba extremists, ne mu balokole mulimu ba extremists, ne mu bapoto, ne mu protestant, ne protestant ngojeko obuyaye bwabwe obulala si tabiri munye biya.
Lwaki bayitanya abayaye? Because
I've seen that I belong to the Anglican church, so I know obufere bwabwe bwate bungi nnyo, naye waliwo omulokole nga ne extremist. Yeah, then waliwo omukatuliki naye nga extremist. So buli dini ate waliwo n'omusawo omuganda naye nga extremist nga naye muzibu. Literally every faith.
Extremism is personal.
Yeah, I think it's a personal character. So you can't.
I think what sets aside the Muslims, the biggest part is because most part, if they are doing those things, those who are extremists, who are actually terrorists, they like to record and they speak in Arabic.
So when they people confuse Arabic as a language, as if it's literally something. It's like Kateringa Nyambara. Nebo bera ngo mukatuliki oba mupoto nengo oli mu Jordan or wherever okizibwa kwambala entalabuusi neze kanzu zaabwe. That's a traditional attire for Arabs, not for Muslims. You get nekati n'okikola wano wemmanyi bayinza okutwala entyangi ovudde ekyambalo ky'obusiraamu. So literally there is a lot to be done. Yeah, globally.
Okay. Abakulembeze b'obuyisiraamu oba abakulembera abayisiraamu wano mu ggwanga bo bakoze ekimala okubanga balwanirira rights zaabwe oba balwanirira enzikiriza yaabwe?
I think it's a two-way traffic. Ekisooka abasinga omanyi tosobola kulwanirira eddembe lyammwe, eddembe lyo nga oyina ebiwayi nga asatu. You get? In Uganda, as we speak, there are clusters or sections. You will hear, Kati, between me and you, Prince Nachibinge, tasobula crossing and Nasalida or the Kampala. You get? But literally, all the Kampala is Supreme, what? Supreme what? That's how they call it.
Supreme Council.
Supreme Council. Kati banobe wole chigamo Supreme Council, when you for Supreme what? You have a Supreme Mufti. So you have a Supreme Council at all the Kampala. And you have a Supreme Mufti who doesn't preside over a Supreme Council, but sitting where? Sitting in Chibudi. So you have two Supremes. So I think there is a big God. Luganda lusungu. Maina mamumbuza was okay. Waliwo buzibu nti tuyina okufuna musina okusoka mu kenyine mwegatta ne mufuna one umbrella as a faith or as a religion. But where you cannot preach and unite as a religion y'abasiraamu nga muyina, of course waliwo abatabuliki bana b'empale zikomeno nga mavivi ba 3/4 zikomeno
ziko wana wansi eno ku mavivi wako
abo bambala 3/4 abo bo be I think be nakasero wallahi billahi tallahi tosobola kuva odi Kampala musaya nakasero abo be kwatawo ate tebasobola crossing ne bagenda wa Chibuli. So literally in here, by the way, even back in the days, while no muzikiti gwe wandegeya, it was slightly independent. So Genoksanga Uganda more or less has, in fact, every district, while subscribing to the Supreme Mufti owe Chibuli, while subscribing kubatabuliki, while subscribing kube odi Kampala. So literally,
our tabuliki is different from.
And
their faith the same. What
they have their interpretation of the Quran. Most of them, and then you will find okay. What to say? What was saying they are liberals, okay, not extremists per se. They go, they go, an extra mile. So no saying that faith, it's as in itself. And so until the Muslim clerics here unite that religion into one umbrella, I can assure you, you will go to Chibudi, you have your pilawo, preach and stop there until you work on your, on your internal conflicts. And which conflicts, in my view, and I don't want you to take me to be sounding so political, they benefit any government that is in power, which doesn't believe in unity, but rather divide and rule. That's why Mr. Museveni will invite the Kibuli section, Musinka Neyoka, a day later or a week later, inviting like every section separated. But he has literally, in my view, not kubakuma kwegat, which is not in other faiths, because abakatuli order eva wano erubaga wantu wamu na Protestant, but with the Muslims it is sad that they are still divided.
Ngeri joga nti baba basinkanya omukulembeze w'eggwanga bakozesezza emikisa egyo okubanga bavayo ne bategeeza omukulembeze w'eggwanga nti amunnange kino kiri bwe kiti ne bwe kiti abakola bino bwe bati ne bwe bati siffe wabula balala.
I think they have, but because in my view, I was watching Mufti Mubajje's speech, I think yesterday. Bagezezako, and of course Bagezezako Muraba ni ono, is it Kamoga? Is it I think Sheikh Kamoga. Bagezezako okweyawula ku bikolwa by'abana by'abantu eby'abatujju
aberimbika
mu ddiini y'Obusiraamu. Naye ekyo tekijjaawo nti era wabirewo ebibalimye oba ebalimu okwogerako, because gamba batujju n'ebirala naye ate lwaki toyogera ku ttaka n'ebyobugagga eby'abasiraamu ebibbiddwa, because literally Mubajje has been, I mean, so many times Mubajje, that clique of Mubajje, Hassan Basajja Balaba, and so many others have always been in battles. Kuba mataka oba batambana igoma mumbukutia simai n'ebyobugagga by'abasiraamu, but it hasn't been solved. So literally it's, of course, even when you blame that nina wesoka wekwe mutima gwe byokola bituufu, and then as a faith sagala ate abasiraamu bakwate tuli wano kubageranya tebategeera nnyo naye naffe tutambulira mawulire. So literally they have to sort their house. It is not as clean.
Major General Kahindo Tafire naye era still mukusala kuno kwabase okwaidi sorry okwaidi aduha naye yavudde era still nakona ku nsonga yemu naga munnange tulekera ogamba nti abasiraamu bebenyigira mu bintu bino era ye yategeezezza nti takwatangako musiraamu wabula yakwata bamenyi b'amateeka.
Maybe on a lighter note, which I found disrespectful, namulabe nga kajjadde nga yenna engeri jaggumidde mu ntebe nga yambadde, you saw that photo trending in front of, for sure, abasajja bajjemu engato. Like there is that problem, I think, with us, most of us, okay, they were nyankole with that arrogance.
Don't put it on don't put it on when it was what I feel.
But you see, it was so nonsensical for in his caliber as a Minister for Internal Affairs. Literally, have that little respect. I've seen Mr. Museveni get off shoes in mosques.
Yeah, and
start with, you know, Japan, and a whole president. I mean, so how special is Mr. Utafiri? I saw that man, I was like, anyhow, that is him. So that's his character, not Banyankole, right?
Yeah, not Banyankole. That's him.
So it was uncalled for, and I think, of course, he will not apologize to them, but it was not fair. And if that found radicals like me, I would rather say, Honorable Minister, take leave, because that was disrespectful of him.
But celebrating with them does not necessarily I must sit like you sit. I came here, I am celebrating.
But you see, where he was, where that day, in my view, it's like court. Court that becomes court. Not so. In my view, Otafire we have a dog muzikiti. You get my point. Otafire we have a day, Kajade na gumidi mukatiba gara kubwatuka. Awabade muzikiti. Yandabada go very rombo no. Because you don't lose anything. So that, for me, that alone, it wasn't communicative at all. But for, okay, ngecho chilesawo, okubanti yakwata abamenyi b'amateeka, he could be right. Because abamenyi b'amateeka tebaliko mu Katuliki, Mulokole, n'Omusamize. Omumenyi b'amateeka asigala menyi b'amateeka. Lwakubeera omuntu ajja kwebuuza, ajja kusaba question mark akubuuze, lwaki bw'okwata abantu 109 mu bamenyi b'amateeka, 95 babeera ba Isima, Abdul Karimu, it will raise concerns as well. So you have to come back and address the world and tell them, look, about recruiting oba yabakonvince okubeera nga bonna oba ye priority yo recruiting abo ye kimwangwira nnyo kujja mu ddiini bweti ne bweti. It's like if someone found criminals nga bonna Banyankole oba bonna Baganda oba bonna someone would ask. For example, most of the corrupt scandals you will mention, the first 20 names will be Westerners. So it is also, so that means we know why. Maybe because they're in government. That's why most of them are corrupt. So literally, I think one has to wonder why.
It's like Rogers wants to say something.
No,
Yes,
no,
even when I point out all to Westerners government.
I'm not very sure how many people are corrupt, so I cannot dispute.
No, you could mention the scandals, corrupt scandals, and begin by names and the list.
Okay, the Karamoja scandal, yalimu Westerners.
No, Westerners.
Okay.
You talked about Westerners and of course Kasaija. Where does Kasaija? Should you mention names? Let's mention names you hear. You mentioned the Global Fund. Where does Jim West come from? Where does Alice Kaboyo come from? You know, where does Salim Sale come from? With the helicopter. With the helicopter, you know, those. I mean, lots of things.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, corruption is corruption. It doesn't have a tribe. Everyone is corrupt in this government. In this government, so. Even the ones in the opposition that are blaming government, they are not. You saw the exhibition that happened on Twitter about the NGOs. The people who are always asking questions, holding the government by the neck and telling them this and that and that, are the same thing they are practicing in their own sector. So I think we need to just look into each other.
It's a personal character.
Yeah, generally, not from where you stand. Anyways, to move on from that, just about the piece, about we have not had you here, I think, since the SSA kind of things. I think the last time we had you was for the Omsinga, his release, but not the massacres and what. Now there were two, apparently there were two orders, well, sources of information. One was that, Dikolum who was giving updates on this is what we have found.
He's the
mountain.
Is he the commander to that side, or he's the one commanding Shuja or something?
So he was taking
is it mountain
the mountain something command,
You commander, but you command operation.
Yeah, and then we had the first lady, who is also doubles as the Minister of Education, giving us another side of the story, saying that the people who massacred was those who had disputes over the land on which the school was built. So from there, of course, I know you might have some bit of intelligence, or you I think in police at one point, or at least you trained with them. Is how should intelligence be gathered in the first place? Because if we have a commander saying one thing and we have a minister saying another thing, who should we believe?
I think for me, in my view, Honorable Kataha is, I think she was led by excitement. And you see, if when there is such a crisis, it's fair enough to go back home and reflect before you come and become camera happy. And I think I will borrow the words of, was it Otafidi again, who said, leave issues of the generals to generals. It was not fair for the Minister of Education to hurriedly go and appear in the media and then say what she said, rather than leave Dick Olum to, because Dick Olum, in my view, is the foot soldier there, who must have had a sequence of events. Having said that, but for some reason, maybe she wanted also to take responsibility and show to the public that, okay, I have some bit of info, maybe. But then that should not bring about the conflicts between the foot soldiers, the Dick Olum, and the wife to the president. Secondly, in communication and also in such hierarchy, it should have been fair that the spokesperson of Ministry of Education or otherwise, or the Ministry of Defense, communicates on behalf of the country. Because this goes beyond a mere attack onto a school. It is, to us, it's an attack to the citizens of the Republic of Uganda, for which this government should protect. You get? So that's the bigger umbrella. So you assume that the Minister for Internal Affairs, most likely the spokesperson, or the Ministry itself, or the Minister of Defense, or the Ministry of Security, before you come on to the Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education becomes a minor thing in this whole hierarchy. Because literally we have the Ministry of Defense, which is supposed to defend every single citizen in this country, but also Ministry of Security and Internal Affairs. And then you see the contradictions between the foot soldier, the army general there, and the civilian Minister of Education. Maybe she should have come later after harmonizing and, of course, getting a substantial substantive report, position from the foot soldiers. But also, like you asked, you see in security where you have talked about intelligence. Intelligence literally is to simply gather intelligence information about what is happening in society, about what is likely to happen in society. That's literally the definition of intelligence. But where you sense danger that someone is carrying intelligence or spying on you, then you do what we call counterintelligence. So you now know Rogers is spying on you, so you counter, you counter spy. So now one wonders, did we have those people spy on us to plan the attack? If yes, did we take a step forward to do the counterintelligence? Because literally he who wins in this move of counterintelligence is the person who takes a step ahead. So meaning the rebels, if they were a step ahead of your security apparatus in Kasese. But also you have to look at the timing of the attack. What if this attack aimed onto portraying that the release or the presumed forgiveness of the Omumbejja isn't as over yet? Because it goes back to our traditional saying of entama yanje webuzire embaya when iroboya. No sooner had my ship gotten lost than your dog's waist had what the feather or something, like
the ships.
So that now you're like, but this waist of so and so's dog has some bit of the
the fur.
Of my ship. So most likely it's a dog that could have eaten my what? My ship. So the Omumbejja is forgiven in quotes today, the very week actually. There is an attack. So what does that communicate? I mean, we should go, when we are reasoning out these things, we should go beyond the normal reasoning, like, okay, what is it? Could it have been a move to also continue to tarnish that, guys, this guy and his group aren't that remorseful, if that was the case? What if it was aimed onto saying that, guys, for us, because if you claim attacking Obusinga at a time, or nemuta, okay, Omumbejja reporting and days later, never attacking, what does that communicate? I think there is a room. In fact, it was just a day later. If it was really a sitting room, we hadn't even moved to the bedroom. So we should interrogate all these events, and then perhaps that's when you can get the real reason for which this happened. Thirdly, for some reasons I wonder, there is some video I saw that was trending, some person saying he's a commander in that side in Agamba, Uganda should leave that side. Nagamba, both they are interested in their minerals in Nebidala. I don't know whether you...
The DRC.
Yes. Kat nebu za, ADF yagana kuamba government ya wa, no yagana kuamba government ya Congo. So you can't ascertain. Because we yagana government ya Congo, why would it now come here and attack people here? But also, fourthly, it was silly for us as a country not to mourn for those young people. It was very silly of us as a country. Me and Rogers have had shows here about Afro-Caribbean, and you saw how the Guyanese government mourned for, in fact, they even cancelled the independence celebrations. Okungu bagira abana abafira. You remember? Kids, moreover. Mumuliro gwachi. Naye bambi abawana bakulu bawano namulabye lulinga ya jogging ali kudduka dena deri. Ndoza tamayimbo they attacked Kasese, but that was sad and inhuman of us as a country. Not even just at least one day of mourning, but that's our country.
But do we ever mourn anything?
Haven't we? I'm not certain. I don't know whether we have had any mourning.
I've not had a national mourning.
Posing about Wafude Wawe,
even then, it is them who carry out the activities.
Yeah, I've not had, I think. But Musimanga for Lagiza facility at half past, no working, no what. I think it hasn't happened. Ono muwoza, Zakayo muwoza, muwoza w'umusoro, bayagala w'umusoro
Honorable Yewunikiriza still nayenga yogera ku nsonga yemu. Abaana battiddwa naye there is nothing like mourning, there is nothing like anything. Okulaga nti kale tunyoleddwa ng'eggwanga.
The chairman Chemwakoze was the Minister of Security, Vincent Sempija.
Vincent Amulanga Chisense.
Yes, I think. yagendayo
but before nga tanagendayo yasooka kuleeta report mu parliament ababaka ne bagiyisaamu amaaso speaker wa parliament n'amugamba nti amunaye baddeyo baleete report ennambulukufu.
It is sad even in Kichwamba like it's not the first time because literally ne report z'omuliro mu masomero like there is a problem. We remember banabana bamuzibe abajira wa
salam
nabanja nagendayo nga yenna yekapisa inenge gye yesibye ekikoyi now mwezo gamba the following day bagenda kuddamu kuzimba essomero eryo up to now you saw those guys the
ngokusoma kuzeemu ne bagante
nga tebana kibayina literally so nebanga bitu bya camera showbiz. I think there is a problem with our country, but I think not with the country, with the leaders of this country, which has to be worked on as soon as maybe wanawulira.
So operation Shujja eyina ebibala byonna ebigivuddemu.
Bibayo, every operation on earth will always have ebibala. Naye kati gwe ekizibu kyaffe bino ebibala olina okwefumita n'olowooza bibala bidda mu nsawo zaani kubanga mu 2011
operation eno
bafunamu ebibala.
Mukulu Noman, sorry to interject. Operation eno bwe yali etandikibwa ekigendera kyali kyakuba nti bagenda kufufugaza abatujju nga bali ku source era ne tufunawo wins awo ne batulaga nti okay waliwo enkambi gye bazinzeeko and all that. Wayitawo ebbanga ate tuwulire atake Kasese. So should we say nti twabalumba eri ate batuyitako buyise eno nga tetubalaba?
I was trying to tell some people that what is happening, okay, bino emiti ebikolebwa ebimu Mukulu Museveni abiyambyeko okukolebwa because it's like a mentorship. Bye bakola byennyini naye mu kinana yakola ki? Yabikola era akalulu kaaliwo n'atagenda mu kooti n'akwata omugemera wala n'agenda eruweero kati nabo obululu bwebeerawo wano so era bw'oba olaba videos buno obutiise nnyo era bwana you have seen those kids nga bukola ebitakoleka naye era bwana bwe mu gy'ekinaana bwakwatanga bisigala n'emundu bikuba abantu naye nga bwana buto so literally whoever is doing whatever they are doing they are learning from the big bad the elder bad because ennyonyi ento rather enkulu eyigiza ento okubuuka naye bw'odda ku kya operation Shujja guys omuyekera italiiko ebyo oyinza n'omulinde Congo najja nakukubira e Kampala because literally tebalina it's not a command post but my ministry of defense etula wano there is a structure so every operation erina byereeta bitonotono of course nebiyita mu ngalo and you cannot put the entire blame onto government because dealing with a rebel, to be honest, it's very hard.
You're dealing with another human being who has the same senses as you do, so
yeah sure it's as hard as you can imagine. So mubako emuwangula because literally if you want to maybe to rate yourselves, you can say if there were, let's say, 10 attacks in a month and you now have one, you celebrate. I think munango nagamba. You get. So I think
so wins zino zetufuna zezituletera okulaga yamu ne tugamba okay tulinga ababafugaza baweddeyo. Bone batulaga nti ate munakimina kye mwakoze.
I think we also need to also realize the fact that they are insecurity entrepreneurs. Some people they're going in Congo, they were aiming at their particular interests. May not necessarily. Some of them, of course, it doesn't mean the whole operation was just entrepreneurial. It means there are some of them whose aim was ADF is in
it's
Congo.
A big, and it's a big. So I mean, the Congo question is a very big.
Bigger than
it's a big question that even if you had what's this guy's name, the president of US, Biden, and so many others, they cannot, in my view, they can never be happy having Congo settled. Never. The UN security, those guys. Bebali mu birombe, bebetikane gold, bebapote, bebali mu mines ezo. So they cannot have that country.
In fact, even the Rwanda has wanted the forces to get out of the country, but they won't. Yes. They are not getting.
Rwanda has its interests. So, Angola has its interests. Uganda, of course, Museveni has always had interests. You know. That's the because we when agenda kusubula yoki. Jinabaddawe gwe webusabala lumulemi naye akola lwe Congo gamba agenda kusubula yoki. Museveni naye amataga
kusubulagananga amawanga Uganda ne Congo.
Era Eastern Congo. So I think there is a literally there is a lot of things. Okay, there is a it goes beyond ADF. Because in ADF nyine obumundu bwekwata bonna bupya bwebuza ADF wese mundu bupya buzibu wegambe bujja. Uniforms. I mean those guys have V8 motokazi ne mpya these Land Cruisers, expensive Land Cruisers bazijja. There must be omuvugirizinga ye achifuna so it's beyond ADF Museveni thing it's
the
convocation is a big thing. It's a very big thing. Chinga bona mubuza ono jajja mwami no mubuza ku Somalia. It's beyond It's a big thing. Jangu tukoyere ekichuba, you be our machinery, we give you every UPDF soldier to muwayo bweziti and literally years after na musawo zezo so ne musubula. That is, I think it's a big
thing. So zina taxes zisobola okoma wano mu Uganda oba zinaakoma because twalina taxes a bomb. Bwe balumbanga police posts kigambibwa nti abaali benyigira mu nsonga eyo baali ba ADF. So taxes zino zinaakoma because Bannauganda bangi babeera mu kweraliikirira because kati buli omu takyesiga oli buli walaba omuntu gwe yeekengera onalabika mutujju ne bw'oba tolina kye waakoze kyonna kyonna naye kasita ye akwekengera atandika okulaba mu ngeri eyo.
Attacks simanyi mpozi ng'omulembe guno Katonda gujjewo nayita omulala naye tezisobola kukoma nga Rogers bwagambye buli ataka lwebaawa lwagifunamu so kati gw'osuubidde onaafuna mu butujju n'okusuubula emmundu n'okuguza emmundu ne uniforms bwe bikoma bagenda kuli awo mpozi nga gaggawadde which is hard kiringa aba pilots be Somalia they can never stop okuwamba amaato amanya bawamba mu America aliko emitwalo nga 5 aga $, so nga lwaki abirekera so biyinza obutakoma maybe biyinza okukendeera if literally our generation considers to sit on a round table and of course have the alternative dispute resolution which is slightly tricky naye attacks okoma nedda babawumuzamu katonotono ne mbanga abirabira ne bakola because someone must be
bojjukira bomba taxes za 2010 eza 2010 eza Al-Shabaab awo nga buli woyingirawo awantu wonna osooka kukeberebwa bakukebera ne bakwaza ne bajulana
ne bya Uganda bibeera olaba mujjajja mwami yabagamba tetulina kuyingira mu kisimbe kyonna nga tutambulira certificate ya fugema namulabaawo you remember when that gentleman
for COVID
for COVID n'agamba tewageza muntu ayingira public office nga tayina certificate kye naye nga bw'omubuuza
bwewayita akabanga katono nnyo
ne balegeza I think I mean that is in Uganda and of course most African countries naye about attacks they can never stop. You have been seeing Americans with those guns omwana ave waka nakwata emundu nayingira mu kindagateni n'abasabula nadayiwaka after a year biki n'akomawo omulala so it's just tricky. So those attacks tricky. Omuntu yesulamu akamba yaya sebo n'akunyukiramu so they cannot stop now in my view. What we have to pray for is the frequency webibeererawo okukendeera.
Ndowooza tugenda mukuwumulamuko naye ndowooza ogende ne comment Nature Inherit, thank you so much for watching. Agamba there is nothing fishy that UPDF and NRM government are hiding from the nationals but instead covering up behind ADF claims. Nature Inherit about Owagambye. Do you have any comment before we break?
Nature Inherit ankubya miggo nzibanda bakati tumanyi bamusanga. But whatever it is, there is a lot to be done. There will always be.
That is also subjective. It's an opinion anyway.
You
can't ascertain what exactly is going on behind curtains if you're not a part of it. So you cannot come and confirm or deny it.
Okay. You're still watching The Mighty Drive. We are coming back in our second hour. There's a lot we're going to talk about, so let's break shortly. We'll be right back.
Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704111720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings.
Go to the church,
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints.
Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can. Although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Welcome back from that short commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. My name again is Rogers Tulyahabwe, and together with Lilian Luwedde and our guest for the day, Tumuhimbise, are trying to dissect a number of issues that are going on around the communities. Now, we try to just look at a bit about the Islamic stuff. Of course, with the celebration for Eid and also the Kasese issues, we're going to move on. But before we get to the budget, I wanted us to also talk about the budgets and priorities for the financial 2023-24. Before we get there, there has been this exhibition going on Twitter about the NGOs and what they are portraying outside and what is actually going on, if they are doing their job. If they are actually holding what they are preaching for the governments to be able to do. Is it the same thing, or are they doing better than that? So I wanted to also get your opinion. Do you think the NGO sector is doing what it portrays in the public to be doing?
I think it's the difference between white and cream. He did try a color blind to say agent white, because when something is cream. And yet, like what we need to first emphasize on is the history of the NGO world and the civil society. And for those of us who did not have info about the genesis of this whole thing, it goes back to the First World War, where governments and there were two axes fighting one another, and thinkers at the time thought that there should be some bit of a neutral force. Nga yo ejja kujja katugeze bano bakubye kunganya beno, and you see that's how the Red Crosses of this world come on board, bakasala bakamyufu nebirala. I mean the Red Cross and so many other NGOs, international NGOs. Era kino ekintu muchi kopa bweru. That's why almost every NGO eri bweru mu Africa inamuchi branches. You hear Action Aid International, it has Action Aid Uganda, Action Aid all of them. Ngamugeza ko kopecheri. Naye the purpose yali nti government tesobola kwecheckinga yo through its three organs. Tusobola ofuna ebitongole ebyetengeredde ebanga bigabo buyambi ebya bwanakyewa. Bwanakyewa ngabagane bagamba gwobo okyewadde mwewo ovunanyizibwa. That's where the word comes from. Bwanakyewa twakyewa. I'm here teaching Uganda, Rogers. Bwanakyewa. Bwanakyewa obuvunanyizibwa. Bwanakyewa wawewa.
Obo questioning a government.
No kuyamba abantu bwobwewadde. Bwanakyewa nze mbwewadde obuvunanyizibwa buno. So it becomes bwanakyewa. That's why that's why ebitongole bya bwanakyewa. Nene ebijjira mu ngeri nga bbiri oba ssatu. Waliwo ebitongole bya bwanakyewa nga byo byajja okubaako bye bireeta nga biri tangible. Like Red Cross, like let's say Save the Children. Bo obuyambi bwabwe bujja in a materialistic way. They deliver. They bring some things. In fact, of late, I have heard of late that I think the UN and other agencies have come back to rethink and say, when we provide relief, governments sit back. Because it's not sustainable. That's why the likes of Chakwere and wherever sang Boa Hole constructed, Semanga donated by so and so. You get Kati government, after all. Will construct. You get Magamba. No, they have to revise the NGO way of doing things. So that's why I mean so many. But they are trying to revive and rethink how best do we also provide support. Nenga tukoze tetwenye gidemu.
Demigo je bakuba ne ba activists ani abawase.
Byebyo wakati bagamba kati can we mentor others. Nayo muntu agambe okay ba questioning capacity they hide. Okay, for another one. Capacity development, capacity building, mentorship, nebirala. So kati ya ulabanga waliwo byajja mu gundi bbiri abagabanga tangible support. That's why Red Cross matabagayi abantu bichi blanket zibaawo sabuni buto and relief
and the medicine sans frontiers.
Then wabeerawo another wing nga yo ya kukola reports surveys n'ebirala. Wabawo another gundi ndizo kugenda mu court and others. So it is broad. Kati omuntu weyebuuliza obuzibu bujjira nti abamu mu banabeewo obuvunanyizibwa bemuyita bannakyewa banabakyewa kati bo bennyini tetusobodde ate naffe kufuuka bannakyewa okubabuuza oba kyebeewa bakituukiriza. Because literally, before you demonstrate towards government for non-construction of roads and the rest, singo tegerambo a certain NGO a center zaisizawo, how many citizens can match onto such a donor or rather NGO ne bakube meza? Because literally bo bano balinga bategeeza ensi nti bo tebagambwa kubanga tetwabatuma tetubalonda.
Someone gave that excuse and said if I did my...
So they should account to a donor, not to...
It's not a taxpayer's money, so why should I be accounting to you? That's what
you see? Kati boba maluku okufuka bannakyewa tetunafuka bannakyewa nafuka babuuza nti naye fine mwayewo obuvunanyizibwa buno naye byo bimugamba eggwanga lino oba ensi eno mubituukiriza because NGO world era ziringa zikyaki nazo ezimu nti obubbi obuli ewa sitaani obuli mu ssabo bwe bukyuka osobola obusanga mu kyaki era obuli buli mu gavumenti bwe bukyuka osobola obusanga mu NGO era obukuwangaalira mu bifo nga biringa mu Museveni, the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit in government yaabwe, there are some NGOs nga the Mother, the Son, the Daughter and the Holy Spirit nga nabo NGO yo batamba nayo bate mu kifuba like it's theirs, it's a business, it's a family business. So until you question such conduct, then you do not have moral authority to come and question Museveni's overstay in power, Museveni's mismanagement of your resources, if you can also mismanage the resources of the NGO that you're leading. If you recruit your brother, the son, daughter, wife, the wife's brother, even your wife's boyfriend, if you recruit even your wife's former boyfriend in an NGO, then there is a trouble. You cannot question Museveni's appointment over the wife, the son, the daughter, and all the in-laws.
And most of the things that were actually highlighted in the exhibition, one case study in particular, which I'll not mention. I mean, I'm not.
I know you fear them. So if you fear them, so you fear them, you respect them. So
I respect them. I think I respect them. They were saying, I think they have about 8 employees, and 5
some
of them,
NGO.
And 5 of them are relatives.
5.
If one of them,
no. If they are 5 out of 80, I think it's fair for sure. If it is 5 out of 8,
yes. Oh. And meanwhile, of the 5, one of them even lives abroad, but is an employee and is on the payroll. And
maybe
the relatives,
maybe he's an NGO ambassador.
The relatives earn more than other people, and most other people are actually qualified to do the work. So those were some of the things. So
maybe where we differ, Rogers and Lilian, I don't know, maybe even others. For some reason, I don't want to sound like I am not sectarian. The word has gone. Okay. Not to sound like I support nepotism. That's the See, muno sikuba nti nompagira nnyo ekyo kwati omuntu aleeta ababe for some reason. Naye, so as long as one is competent, there are some people, there are some relatives that you know that once I work with Rogers, as much as he's a Westerner and I hail from Western Uganda, he will perform. Lwakuba okukikakasa a third party. But in America we had John F. Kennedy, nga brother we, Attorney General, and the man was one of those most brilliant Attorney Generals US has ever
had.
But
don't you think into mu bitongole ebimu kisuka olibwa abanga
underline okusuka nanti kati awe twogera kati okisusiza for sure.
Oli ava side eno mu bitongole kirimu ba side.
You will find katugeze nga Museveni and these other ministers nga mazima akamere ne chai ajja kwesiga omwana wo ku kyalo owewaabwe nti ayinza okutamuwa butwa. Maybe nti chai bamufuna nga brother or sister we. Chovola you'll hear mbo, is it Patience or who serves food in State House? I don't know who gives food. She should be one of the daughters or something like that. You get because of that trust. I think it should be either Patience. I think it should be Patience who has that contract to to do the welfare.
Anyway, the husband business is agriculture, so
you get so kati you bring out that. Na ya thing ngabo gambe kukisusa. Waliwo, of course I also have colleagues there. Ngo yi akisusiza. Driver, kasitoka ku gate, you will just use one language up to the 3rd floor. But then, I think it's also fair for them to use that. Wagame muno musamu for ambaga mu sentence siza mungu musoro. N'olwekyo ne bazibba.
So don't you think chikonya organizations zino abali badde bakola emirimu babera because oli bwamanya nti mukama wange tuva side yemu. Tukwata oluguudo lwe mutuva ku kyalo kyekemu relaxinga mune bwaba akola emirimu akimanyi tojja mugoba
kisinziira bwosanga ali tough asobola okubagambako nayinza obuzibu enkirabamu nti toyina ngeri gyogenda kubuuza mukulu Museveni ku neeyisa yembi nga gwe kennyini. That's why Museveni he has always backed ababoggolera tibalina kye bamugamba I think like ngenjogera ennaku zino because naye bamanyi nti obubbi by the way you see that man and his ISO that international security organization that guy has reports almost on every NGO. He knows every corrupt NGO leader here. That's why he knows. So when you make a noise, he can even make a call. Ngalaba byomugamba ngwe kenyini. Yes, literally ngagamba ate gwe toyina nakwogera. That's why for some reason there are very few NGOs heads asobola kutina mu maaso ga Museveni namubogolera like ngali serious. It's very rare. Kyekimuga banadini because ne Museveni ababala ku TV sigaza transport yekka nagamba so there is no you come and say Museveni is bad nega nawe kenyini oli kundiga ozigamba zisibenja sigaza transport mune transport mulete mukabbo
you know so NGO civil society civil society organizations okay that world yafuuka yakujjambo jasende nti buli agiramu sawa buli abe actually abantu abasinga bakozeko mu bitongole bino ogenda okulenga naye nawe ekiche ayinawo akaka katonotono kazimba abamu bakoze walimu abakoze naye ate abakola ennyo ebitongole surprisingly bino ebitongole byandibadde bikola ennyo bambi tebina ate sente zibimala nnyo byandibadde bikola you get then one of the multi-billion NGOs some I don't want to say that most some of them have mastered the art of convincing and confusing the donor.
Good lobbyists.
They are good lobbyists and they even pay highly for that.
Yeah.
They even fly out of the country to negotiate grants. But also to say they have mastered the art of reporting. They know this is the word you know this is how you write reports. And for donors, Bambi, those guys have made their money. They don't want that stress. All they need is to read through a report and you claim you did A, B, and Z. How in the report?
Tubadde mu conferences nga bagamba bobo inayo bannonga babiri jangu nabo for as long as banasobola okusayininga. Ne bateka we number za.
Why did you exhibit her?
You are the people.
These are the people.
No.
Our confession. We signing is a kono. How do you say? We sign using a kono.
Signing are you using your left hand so that handwritings.
Pen gisulike.
Tusa peni bobo baddo wandisa nataraj wanokozesa o smile oba wanokozesa o kompo oba wanokozesa.
Smile on NGO. Then you must be experienced. This exam here after make sure you exhibit her that we have someone who was signing with both right and left hands on this at the same time. But
haven't you been there and then you receive a call and they're like
not me, and not me. For me, I have always questioned some things. But to say, of course, it shouldn't sound like a joke. NGOs have some of them are doing some great work, and of course that does not also mean that there aren't NGOs that have not done what they are supposed to do. And maybe for me, the take home should be NGOs to rethink. If you have been exhibited and the people are simply blackmailing you, it is between you and your God. You know what you're doing and what you're not doing. And if you know that indeed one of us would reflect and do what you are supposed to do. Because it's not fair to recruit your mother, your father, your brother, sister, and everyone. I think it's not also fair.
Bagamba NGOs ezo bakolera nnyo mu gundi mu boardroom, bakolera nnyo mu office okusinga ku ground. Ate nga baba bakonvinsinga abagabirizi b'obuyambi babagamba tuli ku ground tugenda kola kino nakyo.
You see, Dian, I am half. You know, one of my feet is in the NGO world, and the other foot is the other side. And as a movement leader, some time ago we used to have the same issues in my in our own social movement, that some members couldn't understand project resources. Yeah. Whereas when we NGOs work in the boardroom, we should also take time to reflect. All this money, these grants come with terms and conditions. There is no donor, at least as far as I know. Okay, there are those, but there are very few in either Eastern Europe or Western Europe. And they will support appraisals. You get? For them, they'll fund people, you throw yourselves on the streets like they were supporting in Egypt. That like they funded some, appraisals in Tunisia, Algeria, and other countries, and South Sudan, rather, and Sudan. Khartoum. Yeah. Now, when people write concepts, most of the resources people or grants get are activity based. You are going to hold a workshop. Category and whatever workshop, you get because a boardroom. teri NG egenda kweba kukuba Musimanga human resource NGO yewe kukuba akanyenge kinya Museveni tukukoyo Obubbi Buyitiridde. That's what they will do is to run to court, do petitions. You get they got here Lilian ayagala se NGO leader mbiwe kukuba ga Museveni oludde wonnyo obakalu. My dear, you do that as an activist, but they won't do it. So these grants come with clear activities. They could do, among others, include conferences, dialogues, convening meetings and there, do a survey. That is it. Not Musimanga to Deku Street to Ekaraka Assemble Museveni Yabakaru. That won't work. That is yours. Because go to energy onge kwede ebyo. So we'll call a working in Okuremeremu about my work. So that is not possible. So they don't end in boardrooms. As far as I know, some work, some don't.
Anyway, just on the point of implementation, I want us to also go with this Auditor General thing.
Yeah.
I saw a particular part that had my attention on the implementation of planned activities and delivery of services. And I'm going to read it in verbatim just for you to get the idea. The following observations are noted regarding implementation of planned activities and delivery of services. A, out of total 1,325 quantified outputs worth 10.7 trillion, assessed 434% outputs worth that amount were fully implemented, 57% were partially implemented, while 8.2% were not implemented at all.
Rogers, Bannauganda, oluzungu mulususa. Kiteke mu Luganda. Bashade
ekitundu ebitundu some projects bazi implementing ako kitundu ebitundu
ezimbali bazitandiseko ne bakoma mu kkubo
ezindala bakwatirako ddala
waloze batakwatako wabaawo nezo ze bakola
kati manyi government ya mwene nyumira. If this okay, let me use if I had an opportunity to work in some government by God's grace, I think there's some ministries I would gladly pray that I work in over some institutions. Eno report ogiraba yandi nyumye nnyo nga tenna fuluma banga yakafuluma ngerimu IGG ngerimu ni director wa CID, you get kubanga eno report yekuyambako kulaga buli mubbi, because there you would question partially implemented what happened and who is culpable, not implemented at all. So whom would we ask? But this thing of simply launching, issuing reports and you go back home, it is as useless as, of course, the word useless itself. You waste and spend money on publishing such reports, because the purpose for which governments should publish such reports is to ensure that the CID department uses such reports to begin investigate every person, agencies, contractors, and others as mentioned in the report. That should be the main reason for which such reports come out. Is it 8% also? 8%?
Yeah, not implemented at all, yes.
And when they use those things of 8%, they sound so light, but there are billions and billions behind
of money, of course,
behind that 8%.
In fact, it was 0.354 trillion. So that is about, I think, 300 billion. About 300 billion.
The money showed nothing.
No implementation at all.
The same thing with your former vice president when they asked her about the dams, and she was like, "You mean you can't see the dams?" Especially because we took people, and she was like, "You mean all this time we have been here, you have not seen dams?" And the committee that had gone there wondered on whether they were blind or otherwise. It goes back to I think is it Abdul Samka book where this Abdul man invited people. This guy was broke. So God gave him wisdom. In quotes, God gave him wisdom on how he could make money. So he set up his church or bit of a shrine. So he began preaching to the rich that once you enter, he was like, I have God in my heart. That heart, akasisira. So people begin to parade and come. So he would tell to see God. So he tell this rich man to pay lots of money, and he's like, if you don't see God, it means you're a sinner. So every rich man that would enter with money, he would come out like,
So no one says that.
No one, because for fear to be called the sinner. So this guy made lots of money. So all the rich men were duped and paid a lot of money. So this is the same thing with the space user. When the space user took these guys in the committee, and she's like, "You mean then you guys must be blind?" But they are dumb. So this is the same thing. So whoever has had been assigned to execute some assignments and this hasn't been achieved, in my view, this report but between me and you, even if we stormed the CID department now, I mean, I bet you might find when the entire police does not even have this report.
Yeah.
Do you know that? And that's how our country runs. You may find that no CID senior officer there that has that report.
Most of the implementation of these things are even on local government level, but you'll find none of them.
The LOC 5 chairperson, the cows of this world. And that
apart
is where...
from that, ne numbers, engeri gyebazirambikamu oba engeri gyebazisengekamu, oli ayinza obutasobola interpretinga bulungi.
Kati oyo omulimu aba akolamu ki mu ofiisi? Gwe omulimu, oli kaawo, oli LOC 5, oli district oba education officer, oba...
But even have MPs abatasobola kusoma report eniyo.
MPs, I am sure. If you have my colleagues that I know very well, most likely tebakayina kanunduza bamanyi katabo kagundi kabukedde. It is just possible. You know this country. You will find an MP. Like and that is sad. That is very sad.
And it also talks about the government preparedness to implement the PDM. Now, when you look at the budget priorities for financial 2023-24, PDM is on the top.
And the yoga.
And yeah. So here, they wrote some challenges that were observed. One was that the system that was supposed to be followed to make sure that to follow the progress, monitoring and evaluation of the project, one wasn't developed. In fact, already, it was designed to be implemented using a parish development management information system for performance monitoring and evaluation, registration and data collection, among others. At the time of the report, which was in December of 2022,
only 41%.
Only 3 out of 6 expected modules for the information system had been developed. Out of 6 modules for the system, that is M&E. The M&E module was at 65, the citizen participation information system module was at 80. There's like different percentages. And now the money was disbursed.
Monitoring
and evaluation.
Nti system eyandwadde yagala obubonero katugeze mukaaga erondole erewe report nti because you see why M&E, why monitoring and evaluation is key is that kasite sensing a danger negamba esolo kuwa amagiza gamba musoke muyimiremu otherwise tuli mukono nabudde. You get kati bobano olwokuba olwa abavanduzi bayina bakifuniramu whether M&E weri oba system weri weriwo for them they will do what and then come back next time and say byaganya okukola kati mukikyuse erinnya mukiwe Rogers progressive because byaba fund. That is the problem.
And apparently they did not have enough data by the time they actually rolled out the money. He said successful implementation of the PDM requires complete and reliable baseline data. The data collection exercise was supposed to be undertaken by UBOS, Ministry of Information and Communication, and local governments between June and July. By the time of writing this report, which was in December, only 41% of the expected data had been collected. Now you imagine
that's even below average.
That's below average, and then you have the money now disbursed. So who's going to give to get the money? What are the processes? Literally, there's no process in
the very ones, because as we understand, like we said, chairman, I want some kazi we babanga ina bakazi nga mukaga nga musira munga ina basatu ni mutabani nga ina babira bamazo kola group esolo kujayo ki kujayo sen. But that goes back to that the M&E, of course, those the 6 stages which were supposed to be a prerequisite before the approval of that implementation. But where it doesn't work, you literally continue, swimming around and of course wasting our resources. And before you know it, there are no results, and which has always been the case in any case, because you ask how many beneficiaries does Myoga have, Youth Development Fund, and so many others. It goes back to us as of course as a generation. But most importantly, Parliament should, of course, even debate that as in itself, that report, and dig deeper to ask.
Now, by that, those parameters for the PDM, that is only one. You know the implementation of different institutions of government. Now, when you look at I'm going to read for you the priorities for the budget.
The budget 2023-2024.
Yes. One was effective implementation of the parish development model.
Effective, underline effective implementation.
Yes, of the PDM. That was topping the list. Two was upgrading transport infrastructure, that is roads and railway. Now you remember we still have
with
the
the
issues
railway,
of the
I think
railway
not
things.
now.
Three was promoting small-scale solar power irrigation. I think in my whole life.
Small-scale power?
Small-scale solar power irrigation. In my whole life, I think I've seen one irrigation system in my whole life in this.
I hope that's not for, was it Kibuku? What did you go to? It used to be what? In Kasese, did you do the study?
Yeah, I've seen I saw that one, yes.
Mubuku, in fact it's called Mubuku. Mubuku irrigation scheme.
So I have never had government talk about irrigation system, rolling it out or having any system in place, but apparently they are going to implement that. Another one is science-based research and development. Another one is infrastructure.
Science-based research?
Yeah.
How far with your rats? With the Musenev?
Yazireta mukachiko ka parliament webazi mubuuza naye waliwo era ezimu ezaafa.
Yali aziguzeewo mpozi?
Are they the ones that
emu ya miliyoni 8 anti bamuyitako mu kakiiko azinnyonnyolere
even this man of COVID-19 thing, you remember that professor about because if that's about science and the rest, maybe it should follow.
Nalabye n'abali bakola akawuka akalya plastics and all that. Nanti esente z'abaggwako.
Ebintu by'obuwuka ebyo ze mbitya my mom and myself, okay, then I was a kid, batugamba tulime wakulima kulunda busanyi musibaga bufuluma silk. Government yakuno kati bata sokola akawuka simanga kalya plastic bachakola kalya ekyuma abantu bawo ne kutima basanti wano
balabakula banga kutonde bwensi butereze
abawo kuno abafuna message million 8 bajja kati anytime bayiza kugamba bagenda kola akawuka akalwanyisa traffic jam here
Another point was infrastructure in the industrial parks.
Industrial parks. And in any case, how many do we have? Because literally...
There's one of Mbale where when it rains, the water are literally on the roofs of buildings. And I mean, the other industrial area I know is this one here.
Yeah,
this one. Those are the only industrial parks. Now, I'm not sure, but it's the biggest part of it is in a swampy area, so it might.
And you imagine having an industrial park that is close to 12 kilometers from the capital city. It's just funny. Where you are fighting congestion and traffic. And you have that Ruwera, you have that stretcher between Ruwera and Nakasongola, if you have been there, than having such industrial parks. Because literally, for these leaders we have in this country, for them they think that Uganda is going to end with them. Because if you had that industrial park, like every region that bigger industrial park, no funa stretcher between Nakasongola and the Ruwero, no matter you get catering for the far northern. No funa between Nebi and the Arua, no take you get catering for the West Nile. You get
because they are regional.
More or less regional. Than having one small thing which is like a trading center in Namambe here. It's just not. It doesn't make sense. You have Mukwano man here. Have you passed via Mukwano about that pollution closer here in the city? Just a few kilometers from here. I think they are around 6 also kilometers. Here 6 is where Mukwano. You get
to the industrial area.
I think for Museveni's wisdom, there was a Ayagaran Yanibadenge Ringa Nakasirwari Makati industrial Pangajira Baku work out Manga.
I saw the one in Nairobi. It's an actual industrial park.
Far away from
these things. There's some distance from the city center, but you travel. It's like really, really big, but it's only industries and all of that kind of stuff. That organization,
no, you may not have it now. I have been in some places where you know that if it is, let's say, Rogers Street, your pharmacy is okay. Bogenda, let's say, Tenjo Avenue, your restaurant is okay. Bogenda, but here, after a pharmacy, there's a restaurant, is take away which commando, which commando. Like, this is messed. Because literally you would now find, if it is steel, Still, it's called still, and which if it's that's ngeyo bayina via section. Let's say bobano ba mabati bitayimba misumali. You get naye nga tukusanya national park yaffe mulimu akolengano wa Bemba mulimu webbati mulimu assemblinga boda waliwo assemblinga motoka simanya like it is just
kalinga bawulira nto
mulimu wa pharmacy
nti waliwo abagala spare abagende wa kiseka.
That is it in some countries, but in Uganda, like I said, that industrial park you'd find katiwaliyo osangayo bainamu plant katugeze ya Toyota, katugeze ya Nissan, mulimu abamabati, mulimu abemitayimbwa, mulimu abemisumali, mulimu wanigina, mulimu owengano. Like it's just a mess. A mess. Which literally it goes back to our National Planning Authority. We never planned for this country.
Nenebuuza ekibuuzo nti lwaki abatandika amakolero gano abasinga basinga kuba mu ntobazi bw'otunulira we gali okusinga
because gana amataka gasinga galina bannanyini go bagagula kati ndoze ebibeerawo ng'ebyobwereere oba ebyarayisi oba ebyokugaba obugabi ne babiyiwamu ettaka ne babiyambusa tebibeeramu
ati kati obuzibu obuliwo bayiwamu ettaka kati wano mu kibuga Kampala enkuba buli bwetonnya ekibuga kifulaadinga
nanti kiddayo eri
because amazzi we gaali galina okuyita baazibawo
industrial park y'Embale teri mu luto
kiddayo eri mu abakulembera bo bayina weri abakulembera bo babirowoozaako ki ne bw'ofunanga naye ali awo
ekinaavaamu tujagala olanga industrial parks shift nze kati bazitadde mu nnyanja wakati nga bayiyeemu ettaka
ate kati ennyanja nga baziteekemu batya nga ennyanja zirimu poloti bwedezo count wali. They will tell you don't cross, you can't fish. I mean,
I saw that.
I saw
that.
They even demarcate.
They put
yes,
you don't.
You know, but when you are 10 to crossing, we know. I mean, if you didn't know, you get.
I thought it was just people making.
No. Because of course, maybe how do you even say it?
Atano kujikumi mu mazzi.
Abiri kati simanyi timanyi wali babuloka nga kusalira ka unakupimira
kwa zembuza bogenda wali mu ministry bakuwe ekyapa mu mazzi
awo simanyi ntiteko kubuuza no dia
I think most of the people because they invest they give them
they do by the and by the way it's not a joke so people literally are doing farming you even call it farming mu mazzi makati so they demarcate oyina agenda nafuna bebiriso bachi nayo mu nyini mu nyanja wo Victoria kapolitike kaina ebinyanja nebikola that's why tusobola kuvubawo you get
so yatekawo ne sente
he invested mu kulunda mu nyanja
oli mu katoko kano ke bagira we
batagenda bagamba to crossing kubanga ndo labachi demarcations mu mazzi ga gundi sitakali ya gundi ago mazzi ga gundi so that's what's happening in this country kadi baja funa netaka in rather space agambe wano wanvu yenyo obulago obuyingidde wange
space ngagati kati wano mu Kampala space ya gundi
yes so I think there is a lot to be done
but those things people actually do anyway so these priority areas with these tourism promotion and development
investing in
oil and gas sector there is human capital development investing in people I do not know how that happens.
Maybe that is some bit of like skilling or something.
Yeah, maybe. There's collecting more revenue, of course.
Can you imagine that becoming? But you see, just wait a second. You see how I get annoyed by your leaders, people, is for someone to pay all their attention on how do they best collect taxes than paying attention on to how do we best have a very active generation that in return can enable the tax collector have a widened scope through which they can get taxes. And I said it here some time ago. Nti bw'obanga oyina abaana 10 nga bakola buli omu ng'omuggyako omutwalo per month oba osinga ayina abaana bana nga be bakola nga buli omu muggyako $5,500 because ono ajja kusala olukujjukujju azinyage. You get? So have a bigger number of busy people tax base it becomes big than having only Sudhir, Simanyanga, Bani, a smaller clique. And that's very funny of your planners. You can proceed.
Collecting more revenue. Kali serious.
The last one is all the above will be anchored on continued investment in security.
Imagine.
PDM, collecting taxes, small solar power irrigation, infrastructure, industrial parks,
ICT.
all of that. Security is the foundation.
I think for me, the people who lead us either intentionally don't think, or literally their minds never think. When you promote, for example, if it is intentional to promote the gas and oil sector and the rest, indirectly, if you do it progressively, you know that you are saving your forests. You get? By, for example, ensuring that the gas is now another mode of, energy in homes when it comes to cooking and the rest. And you make it intentional. You make it intentional by literally also going forward and saying, every, say, kilogram of gas is this little, not this much. You get? So you subsidize or cut the taxes that you tax such products, like the gas cylinders, the gas itself, and the rest. So where my mom chops, I don't know how many trees to prepare one meal, so you know she has some gas cylinder in her home. Literally you are protecting trees, but it is not intentional. They will simply say A, B, and Z gas, but they don't tell you the how. How do we intend to achieve every priority area they mentioned? You get? So when you talk about security, how do you intend to achieve a secure country where young people, 80% are unemployed?
They have policy framework that details every one of those sectors.
Then one asks, is it practical and achievable? Because you have heard the gentleman here telling us Vision 2040, vision is this, vision is this. We are here middle income state, and he gets a press conference, and then the World Bank refutes. Yeah, and then he's like maybe they have eyes but they don't see. But you can tell our poverty just right away from when you open your door from home, from the neighborhood. And then you wonder, maybe he meant himself, where his cattle look so beautiful than even human beings in this country. Maybe that's what he uses as a yardstick to tell that the country has developed. It is also possible. I was here, I think, some time ago, and I was trying to give you a difference between okukura no kurakurana. Growth and development, they are two different things. You can kukura and you have not kurakurana. You are 80 years and you have one cup, one sigiri, and one stove and 2 spoons. Nengo ukuze. So our country has it has growth but doesn't have development. People think that seeing traffic jam in town, that's development. Family mwe wakanga baina motoka munana. Omukazi ayine yi ka last born kagamba mama, I don't want to move in a Benz, I now need a Range Rover. Ayo nayo negenda ku dene. So nezija motoka ngameka. Nga munana gaziwa mu family age kati wetula ba traffic jam ngamba Uganda kozeshi. Ekula kulanye. Nenga Uganda ekuze. Those are two different things. So there is a difference between growth and development. So Uganda has grown but hasn't developed. So Mr. Museveni maybe and his people, or one Minister of Finance, when they see this traffic, they say, haven't you seen buildings? I've had people mention that cheap talk. We have so many cardinals in town, storage buildings. Nenga, from the second, third, if you're lucky, ahead of 3rd floor, the entire building is not occupied. It's vacant. And you never question why. You never question why Lilian begins. Why she starts a shop today and after her 4 months payment disappears. No one ever bothers. And those are that's the same research information that would help in planning. Why do people start shops and mezi start wejigwako a rent nebabula? You go back in the same building, a new face. And landlords are okay. With government, it shouldn't be okay. It shouldn't be okay for tenants to pay more dollars. It shouldn't be okay.
For a landlord, he's making money, so it's not his source of income. It's his or her source of income. So that's on you.
So such information,
then the business is done.
It is what would be guiding this country to
plan. But someone told me mbubakati foreigners okuwamba oba okutandikawo businesses ekireetera okuba nti bannansi bo bennyini nabo tebakyakola.
Yeah, I have sometime moved through where I have seen, and this is not to sound like I am racist. Very small eyes, either they are Japanese or Chinese. Bari mubinigi now downtown you know.
Jangwe kansanga. Itamuku kansanga olaba mabala agasinga bani bannanyinigo.
Now I think there is trouble because you don't have a specific policy. I think you do not have. Unlike maybe during perhaps a men's regime or something. I don't know, they have a specific policy. There are some basic things, there are some businesses, Rogers, you can't operate in UK, okay, in Europe in particular. For sure, not
every white person is an investor. Some of them are immigrants.
But they come
came here running away from.
They come in the name of being investors.
I have seen some.
They are probably refugees.
Don't you know that there is a law? The refugees, there's something they're not supposed to do. But literally, there are some refugees who are supposed to be in the refugee camps for some time, and of course, it's a process. Now, Uganda here, you will find a Muzungu as a Catholic when you are engaged in a Chingereza.
I
think yeah, so
but honestly, me as an individual, I don't think I have a problem with that.
With what? With the Muzungu
having anyone do anything.
Are you sure?
That cannot be an excuse for local people to be to not to work because they are giving an excuse of another person is doing the job I'm supposed to be doing. It's not
see, Rogers, there should be there are some basics we expect of our country to provide such policies. That's why there is a policy here when they are giving you contracts. They will tell you, okay, there is an organization where I used to work, and the policy then was, I think it was around 10% or so foreign staff. Now, even that foreign staff must prove to us, and also our clauses then before we could give out the contracts where to get a for maximum 5 years. Simple as that. That doesn't work. No. There are some things that have been called Banansi. Okay. Imagine Oxango Muzungu Gadi Masakanga Patansen. For sure. Yes, sooner Benia Kodechi. No, sooner Benia Kodechi Munabu. No, there's something that should be left to.
I think I had it in South Africa.
If it's about ICT, it's fine. Now, for sure, quite a nigga no. I saw some person, I think it was in a guru, some Muzungu Tunda Binyewa, something like that. One Amanda's. I'm like, okay. Nga investor na gumi. Nga wewe HT batagambo ako.
Tuli mu ggwanga anti kati abasinga bajjanga ba investor ne bimala ne bikyuka embeera ndoza ne balemerera wano mu Uganda nagawa ikankole ekiriwo oba kutunda mu dduuka oba kola ki
yitangwa no airport goma no ku job wano ku airport okuyingira wano. We have the immigration department here, and internal affairs. There are so many, not to say that we don't like them. We like them fully. Na ye olumu bakisusa. They are doing
some bigambi bantu wano mu Uganda obo ine sente osobola okubeerawo ne bobanga
nebo batwe
biwandiiko byotoyina
toyira mukulu Museveni ngagamba even fools can survive in Uganda. That's the exact word they use. Did he say fools or idiots? Like in Uganda. Fools can survive. There's food everywhere. So if fools can survive, what about a wiseacres? You can imagine what happens in this country.
Okay, ndoza wano tugenda okubanga tuwunzikira mukulu no mano vakabo obunzika. Abo busibula.
The other time when Parliament had just come in, ngabala ira wano nabako some guy, wali awerekedde Jacob Bolanya, wali awerekedde Dani nga yesebye nkoba MCP ebiri. ndoza mwesibe 10 kati tugenda tuka mukasera ngweno kwesiba emisibo kuva ono boti kwesiba olukoba ngweno kwesiba enkoba 10 like mwesibe bite chamala ono kwenyweza in fact you know kwenyweza niwe wako ne wenyweza nga ku kiti with the way we are going most likely things aren't good but we continue to be hopeful especially my generation and your generation and you young people to do what to work hard. And of course, sometimes when you say work hard, you have to college. Maybe working smart.
Yes, it's working smart. It's not
about work hard. Otherwise, I'm saying baby girl. Big buildings. But of course, we continue being hopeful and praying to God to stay alive. And we see, as you know, the sequences of events unfold. As for me, we shall continue contributing the little towards the development of this country, much as we know to be tuwayo abanyonyosi babera batulinze kuteka modu seke batunyonyote, but we'll be there to wait until when we cannot kunyonyotibwa anymore for good in my country.
Oye mukulu no Tumuhimbise, National Coordinator Alternative Social Movement. Noleza wano tutugenda kubanga tusoka. Rogers, do you have anything to say before we close?
No, not really.
Not really. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, our viewers. Mwena babadeko, I want to take this opportunity to wish Council Innocent Ainebiona a happy belated birthday. His birthday was yesterday, so fetu sazo celebrating all na koralero. Happy birthday, Council. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Council Innocent Ainebiona. We love you as Digitalk. Mukama yongera okukulakulanya. N'ebirungi bingi nnyo ayongera okubanga abikuwa. Njagala kubebaza mwena abatugoberedde.
Obadde okooka, obadde oyiba.
Tubadde tumuyimbira engeri gy'eri yayiseeko.
Funa manager nkole ekivulu kya Alien Scale. Bakutwala pako party beera green party. Beera green party.
Oza tusinkana omulundi ogujja. Njagala okwebaza abakulu b'enkoze nabo olunaku olwaleero. Mukulu Rogers Tulyahabwe. Bwe tutambuza show so nga te ku kamera kuliko omukyala Teddy Tenjo Nabukeera, so nga te mu control room wali omwami Mukose Arnold Anthony n'omwami Ali. Bwe tukoze programu eno nammwe okusobola okubanga tugibawa nga bwe mugirabe. Njagala kubagaliza olunaku olulungi, tusinkana omulundi ogujja. Mwedaba.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.